redox reactions లో oxidation number. Oxidation number means the number of positive or negative charges that are exist or possible to exist on an atom in a molecule or an ion is known as oxidation number. For ionic compounds, there is a clear cut transfer of electrons will take place from one atom to other. In such cases, the number of atoms that were lost by an atom is indicated by the number of positive charges on that ion. For example, if you take Na plus ion, it indicates that ion has formed by losing of one electron from its atom sodium. Mg plus 2 means that ion is formed when Mg atom loses 2 electrons. Al plus 3 means Al plus 3 ion is formed when an Al atom loses 3 electrons. So, that number is said to be oxidation number. When it was gaining is takes place, negative charges will arise on it. So, the number of negative charges will equal to the number of electrons that were absorbed by that atom during the formation of that ion. So, in ionic compounds, there is a clear transfer of electrons will take place. So, it is easy for us to calculate oxidation number. Whereas, in the case of covalent compounds, electron transfer will not take place. A partial transfer of electron will take place. That is why partial charges will arise on it. Such bonds are said to be polar covalent bonds. Here, if you take a molecule AB, it is a polar molecule because these two atoms belonging to two different elements. Naturally, one atom will have more electronegativity than the other. Suppose here atom B has more electronegativity, so that the bonding pair of electrons will move closer to B than A. That is why a partial negative charge will exist on it and partial positive charge on it. Though it is a polar covalent bond, though there is no ionization, if we assume that bond dissociation will take place, the bond dissociation will be like this. That means pair of electrons will move towards B and A will lost its electron, because in any bonding pair one electron belong to one atom and other electron belong to other atom. The bonding pair of electrons are belonging to two bonded atoms. So, here when the division takes place in a polar molecule, high electronegative element can take those two electrons. Or suppose for example, element X is there, here it is attached with two elements Y. Here Y has more electronegativity than X. In such cases, the bond dissociation will take place like this. In such cases, we can assume a plus 2 charge on X and Y will have minus 1 and minus 1. For this molecule XY2 is appeared to be neutral, because X oxidation state is plus 2, 2 Y's are there. So, 2 into plus 1 will be 0, because minus 1 will become to minus 2, is called 0. So, we have to calculate, assuming oxidation numbers of atoms in a polar molecule, assuming that dissociation, if dissociation takes place, that dissociation is unequal dissociation. For example, if a non-polar molecule is there, for example, A2, molecule A2 or B2, in such cases, there also a pair of electron is mutually shared by two bonded atoms. Here in this case, two bonded atoms belonging to same element. So, their electronegativities are same. In such cases, the bonding pair of electron is at equal distance from the nuclei of the two bonded atoms. So, if dissociation takes place in such cases, it will be like this. Equal dissociation will take place. So, in such cases, you will formation of free radicals. There is no charge either one of the atom. So, to calculate oxidation numbers of covalent compounds, it makes difficult for us because multi-atomic molecules, multi-atoms are involved in the formation of covalent bonds. For that purpose, here we have certain elements which will have a standard oxidation states. Keeping those elements in reference, the oxidation numbers of the remaining elements can be calculated. Let us consider some elements which will exhibit a fixed oxidation state in all elements, because here some elements will exhibit fixed oxidation state and some other elements will exhibit a variable oxidation states. It is depend upon the outermost electronic configuration of such elements. There are certain elements which will exhibit a fixed oxidation state whatever the compound it may be. The elements which exhibit the fixed oxidation state are, first one is the first year group elements, that is lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. All these elements, whatever the compound it may be, they will always exhibit only +1 oxidation state, only +1 oxidation state. Now, the elements which are present just before the inert gases, they are halogens, they are fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. All these elements will always exhibit -1 oxidation state in its halides. Halides means any compound with these elements without oxygen is called as halide. If oxygen is one of the part of the compound, then again you have to calculate their oxidation state. Without oxygen, if these elements are combined with any element in the periodic table, they always exhibit -1 oxidation state. If a compound contains oxygen, it will not applicable for such compounds. For example, NaOCl, NaClO3. So, they are not halides. So, in such cases the oxidation states will change. When there is no oxygen, only halogen and other element is there. In such cases, they exhibit -1 oxidation states. Now, with some exceptions, some elements will also exhibit some compounds. They are oxygen. In all its oxides, oxygen's oxidation state is -2. This is in oxides. Oxides means a compound with oxygen, any element. If it forms a compound with oxygen, that is called as oxide. In such oxides, oxidation state of oxygen is -2. Here for oxygen also there is an exception. There are certain compounds which are called as peroxides. In peroxides, oxygen oxidation state is -1. This is one of the exceptional case, peroxide. What is the reason for it? Peroxides, there is a bond between oxygen and oxygen, like this. For example, BaO2. Let us have an element, a compound called BaO2. BaO2, CO2 or MnO2. These are called oxides, dioxides, and this is known as peroxide. Why it is called as peroxide and why it is called as dioxide? It can be understood by you if you know the structure of these compounds. In peroxides, barium is bonded with two oxygen atoms like this. This is called as peroxide. Whereas in this case, carbon forms two double bonds with two oxygen atoms. So, such compounds are called as dioxides. SO2, sulfur dioxide, MnO2, manganese dioxide. Here in these compounds they are called as dioxide, though they are having two oxides, they are called as dioxides because these atoms are directly connected to central atom, there is no bond between oxygen and oxygen. Whereas in the peroxides, in barium peroxide, there is a bond between oxygen and oxygen. That is why this is called as peroxide. Para means opposite. That is why they are called as peroxides. So, in peroxides, here on each bond we already discussed that one pair of electrons will present. So, here oxygen is more electronegative than barium. In two bonds it loses 2 electrons, that is why barium will get +2 charge. But here in the case of O2, here these two belongs to same element. So, equal dissociation will take place. So, neither lose electron nor gain electron by this bond. With this bond it acquire 1 electron, with this bond this oxygen will acquire 1 electron. That is why it is here the negative charge is -1. That is why in peroxides oxidation state of oxygen is -2. Sorry, -1. In all the remaining oxides, oxygen oxidation state is -2. Another exception is bonds with fluorine also. It can form OF2 or O2F2. Here, fluorine is the highest electronegative element in the periodic table. Only oxygen next, oxygen is the next element because electronegativity is 4.0, whereas oxygen electronegativity is 3.5. So, next to fluorine, oxygen is the highest electronegative elements. That is why oxygen will gain electron whatever the element was bonded to it. That is why it always exhibit -2 oxidation state. But in the case of fluorine, fluorine will have more electronegativity. When oxygen is bonded with fluorine like this, as fluorine electronegativity is more, fluorine will take those bonding pair of electrons and acquire -1 charge, and oxygen will get +2 charge. So, in OF2, oxidation state of oxygen is found to be +2. This is one of the exception. In O2F2, it is a peroxide of fluorine. Oxygen is bonded with fluorine like this. Here, fluorine will gain 1 electron each from these bonds. So, here +1 charge, here +1 charge, here neither lose electrons nor gain electron. So, in O2F2, oxygen oxidation state is +1. This is another exception. And one more exception is there with first A group elements. Oxygen can form superoxides with potassium, elements like potassium, sodium. In superoxides, oxygen oxidation state is -2. For example, KO2. K oxidation state is +1. So, 2 oxygens oxidation state is equal to -1. It will be equal to -1/2. That is, in superoxides, oxidation state of oxygen is -1/2. These are the exceptions. Oxygen, whatever the compound it may be, oxygen's oxidation state is -2 with a limited exceptions. That is, if it is a peroxide, oxygen oxidation state is -1. With fluorine compounds, oxygen can exhibit +2 and +1 oxidation state, and with in superoxide, oxidation state is -1. Hydrogen. Hydrogen oxidation state in all its hydrides, that is metal hydrides, its oxidation state is -1. In metal hydrides, hydrogen's oxidation state is -1. In all the remaining compounds, oxygen oxidation state is +1. So, remember these elements, because if you know the oxidation state of these elements, you can easily find out the oxidation state of the remaining elements. Another one is there, the 2A group elements, magnesium, calcium, strontium and barium. These elements also exhibit +2 oxidation state, because first A group elements will have 1 electron more than an inert gas, second A group elements will have 2 electrons more than inert gas. So, these two will lose electrons during the formation of compounds. That is why they exhibit fixed oxidation state. Whatever the element it may be, they will exhibit fixed oxidation state. First A group elements will exhibit +1 oxidation state, second group elements will exhibit +2 oxidation state, and halogens will exhibit -1 oxidation state in all its halides. Halides means compounds without oxygen. If oxygen is there, again you have to calculate. Then oxygen. Oxygen always exhibit -2 oxidation state in its oxides. Only exception is in peroxides, oxidation state is -1, and with compounds with fluorine only it can exhibit +2 and +1 oxidation state. In superoxides, oxygen's oxidation state is -1/2. In metal hydrides, hydrogen will exhibit -1 oxidation state, but in the remaining compounds, hydrogen always exhibit +1 oxidation state. So, you note down all these oxidation state of these fixed oxidation state of the elements which are exhibiting fixed oxidation states. By taking these oxidation state as reference, we can calculate oxidation state of any element in a covalent compound. Now, let us calculate the oxidation state of some elements in a compound. For example, if you take H2SO4. In H2SO4, previously we have discussed about the elements which are having fixed oxidation state. In that list we have oxygen and hydrogen, because hydrogen in metal hydrides only hydrogen will exhibit -1 oxidation state. In all the remaining cases, oxidation state of hydrogen is 1 +1. Similarly, oxygen's oxidation state is -2. Now, taking these two as a reference, we can calculate the oxidation state of sulfur, because we do not know, because in that list which we discussed earlier, we have first A group elements, second A group elements, halogens, oxygen and hydrogen. In that list, sulfur is not there. Now, we have to calculate the oxidation state of sulfur. How to calculate it? Here the molecule is not having any charge, so sum of the charge oxidation numbers of all elements in this molecule is 0. So, 2 hydrogens are there, each hydrogen's oxidation state is +1, so 2 into +1 plus sulfur oxidation state we are not known, so let it be X. Then 4 oxygens are there, each oxygen oxidation state is -2, and sum of the oxidation states will be equal to 0. That means 2 plus X minus 8 is equal to 0, X minus 6 is equal to 0, X is equal plus 6. That means sulfur oxidation state in H2SO4 is equal to 6 plus 6. Similarly, we can calculate KMNO4. Here in the list you have potassium, that is +1, in the list you have oxygen, that is -2. Manganese is not there, let it be X. Now, 1 potassium is there, 1 into +1 plus Mn is there plus X plus 4 oxygens are there, each oxygen's oxidation state is -2, sum is equal to 0. Now, 1 plus X minus 8 is equal to 0, X minus 7 is equal to 0, X is equal to +7. That means here manganese oxidation state is found to be +7. Similarly, you can calculate carbon in H2C2O4, oxalic acid. Here hydrogen is +1, oxygen is -2. Carbon is not known to us, let it be X. Here 2 hydrogens are there, 2 into +1 plus 2 carbons are there, so 2 into X plus 4 oxygens are there, 4 into -2. The sum is equal to 0. Now 2 plus 2x plus -8 is equal to 0. 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. 2x is equal to 6. X is equal to 6 by 2, that is equal to +3. So, here carbon oxidation state is found to be +3. Similarly, we can calculate K2Cr2O7. In K2Cr2O7, variable oxidation state will be exhibited by chromium. So, potassium is +1, 2 potassiums are there, 2 into +1 plus 2x, 2 chromiums are there, plus 7 into -2 is equal to 0. 2 plus 2x minus 14 is equal to 0. 2x minus 12 is equal to 0. 2x is equal to 12. X is equal to 12 by 2, that is equal to +6. By that way, we can calculate oxidation state of unknown element in a given compound, taking the elements which are having fixed oxidation state as a reference. Cu NO3 twice, etc. Here in Al2SO4 thrice, we are not having Al in reference list and sulfur is also not there. Only oxygen oxidation state we know, that is -2. Here also we do not know Fe oxidation state and S oxidation state. We know only oxygen's oxidation state. When two variables are present, it is not possible to calculate the oxidation number of individual element. In such cases, we have to take ions as a reference, because we have standard acids, that is H2SO4, HNO3, H2SO4, HNO3. Here this SO4 and NO3, wherever they are present, the total oxidation state of sulfate will not change. But how to know the sulfate oxidation state? Because it is an ion, sulfate ion. How to calculate its oxidation state? In such cases, we have to take the whole thing as unknown. Let it be X. Hydrogen's oxidation state is +1. So, 2 hydrogens are there. Total H2SO4 sum of oxidation states is equal to 0. So, 2 into +1 plus X is equal to 0. 2 plus X is equal to 0. X is equal to -2. That means the sulfate oxidation state is -2. Whatever the compound it may be, wherever SO4 is present, its oxidation state is always -2. Taking this as a reference, you can calculate oxidation state of aluminum, oxidation of ferrous and ferric. For example, Al2SO4. Here you do not know the oxidation state of aluminum, let it be X. So, 2 aluminiums are there, 2 into X plus 3 sulfates are there, each sulfate ion is -2, 3 into -2 is equal to 0. So, 2x minus 6 is equal to 0, 2x is equal to 6, x is equal to 6 by 2, that is equal to +3. So, aluminum oxidation state is +3. In FeSO4, sulfate oxidation state is -2. Only 2 species are there, so automatically it is +2. Here Fe2SO4 it is minus 2, 3 to minus 2s are 6. So, 2x minus 6 is equal to 0, 2x is equal to plus 6, x is equal to 6 by 2, that is equal to plus 3, just like this. In HNO3, now we want to know the oxidation state of NO3. Hydrogen is plus 1. So, this is x, 1 plus x is equal to 0, x is equal to minus 1. Wherever NO3 is present, its oxidation state is minus 1. So, here it is minus 1. Now, this is x plus 2 into minus 1 is equal to 0, x minus 2 is equal to 0, x is equal to plus 2. So, here copper oxidation state is plus 2. Now, let us take another example, NH4 NO3, NH4 NO3. Here 2 nitrogen atoms are there in that. They are not in combined state. They are 2 different species. They ionize as NH4 plus and NO3 minus. We know NO3 oxidation state is minus 1. So, here it is minus 1. Automatically this species will become plus 1. So, NH4 plus 1. Now, what is the oxidation state of nitrogen? This is x. X plus 4 into plus 1 is equal to plus 1, because here we have plus 1. In the remaining cases, we consider it as 0, because there is no charge. Here charge is there. So, we are considering as plus 1. So, 4x plus 4 is equal to plus 1, x is equal to plus 1 minus 4, that is equal to minus 3. So, in NH4 plus ion, nitrogen oxidation state is minus 3. In NO3 minus, let us calculate NO3 minus. In NO3 minus, we have oxygen which oxidation state is minus 2. This is x, because we are not aware the oxidation state of NO3, N nitrogen in NO3. So, x plus 3 into minus 2 is equal to minus 1. This is minus 1, because total charge of NO3 minus ion is minus 1. That means x minus 6 is equal to minus 1, x is equal to minus 1 plus 6, that is equal to plus 5. So, here oxidation state of nitrogen is plus 5. Even in the HNO3 also you can calculate, you will get the same thing, because hydrogen oxidation state is plus 1, nitrogen you do not know, let it be x, plus 3 oxygens are there, 3 oxygens is 3 into minus 2, that is minus 6 is equal to 0. Then x minus 5 is equal to 0, x is equal to plus 5. In HNO3 also nitrogen oxidation state is plus 5, in NO3 minus also nitrogen oxidation state is plus 5. So, simply because of ionization, oxidation state of an individual atom or an ion cannot be changed. This is the way to calculate oxidation state of different unknown elements.